Wonderful! Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Coldborough Farm, where today we're getting the poll results from last week. Now the winner, because I pretty much put in the deciding vote once I saw the results. Sorry for everybody who voted, there was a two-way tie at the top, so I'm either fertilizing or mowing today. They both got 31% of the vote each. Selling seeds got 13% and yard work got 22%. AKA 7 votes each for fertilizing and mowing, 3 for selling and 5 for yard work, making up, I think it was 22 votes overall. And the winner by my decision is fertilizing in the John Ferguson 698R. Now, we do have options for next week, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to hop into our John Ferguson real quick. There we go. Why is my head tracking doing this? There we go. I'm going to get it running. Come on. There we go. Gonna get it running, and our options for next week are as follows. Now, there are 4 things that really need to be done. Now, by the way, I did just base the deciding vote on what needs to be done the most. It's not like what I want to do the most, but it's basically what needs to be done the most on the farm. Now, next week's 4 options are herbicide spreading, which is bringing out the sprayer and putting herbicide on the fields. We have tidying again, because the map does need to be tidied up. I might do that in a stream if it fails again this week. We also have seed sales again, which I do plan on doing. I haven't edited the map to cater to that just yet. I actually have a small bank of edits I want to make in the very near future, so that'll be part of it. And the 4th option is a bit out of left field, because during one of the streams last week, Ford 7000 man, aka John Deere 9630, or the 6830 man, I believe that's what I made him call himself, he pointed out there is actually a free meadow on the map. I didn't know this. Just refill the PK. So if I open up the map here, you'll see down, there's 2 free meadows. Oh, are there any more that I haven't spotted yet? No. So down by field 32 there's a free meadow. You can see it's not numbered at all. And as well down, actually they're both down by field 32, immediately to the right of it on the map and immediately underneath it on the map there are 2 meadows that just aren't being sold, which means effectively they're free, which means I can mow them under common land, I guess. Common land logic. So the 4th option is to mow them, probably for straw, because frankly, or not straw, you can't mow for straw, for hay, because I don't have any way of making silage. That's me logic there. Me lovelies. So I'm thinking actually going out with a mower might just win. Now, as a disclaimer, I will not be going out with the X-Mark bagger. I will be going out with the John Ferguson here, which has a beautiful horn. Don't think you might have heard that, so I'll just go out of cab and yes, I put the Dixie horn on it. This, by the way, is private, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you want to view this. This is private. Simulate edited this himself for me. I tinkered with it a small bit to get the Dixie horn working properly, because if you saw my first attempt at using it, the Dixie horn was broken. And I also edited the name so it does actually show up as a John Ferguson. So yeah, that's the 2 edits I've done to this tractor, and they're relatively small. The texture work is all Simulate, so you can blame him for me having a hot pink Massey Ferguson with John Deere stickers on the side. He's to blame, not me. I only stuck the idea in his head of having a hot pink tractor. Speaking of, if that's possible in FS17, guess who's having a fleet of hot pink Valtras? And if you watch me enough, you'll know that that's not something you should ever think that I wouldn't do. Oh, for people who don't usually watch the streams as well, you might notice my head's being a bit weird at the moment. Or the view's being a bit weird because I'm kind of looking around a lot. They're my actual head movements. I do tend to look around a lot when I'm recording. So if I look over here, this is me looking at Audacity. This is me just looking backwards to see if I'm almost finished the row. And this is me just getting lined up for the next row as well. So I do have TrackHat working in Farm Sim now. I got it running as the mouse, which could be better, but hey, it's working. That's the main thing. The main thing is that I do have it working, and there is quite a lot of usefulness there. Did I miss a spot there? Nope, just an artifact. Lovely. So let's get into the next row. One thing that is weird is you get used to like your view moving with your actual head really quickly, and you know exactly where you need to look at the screen to get the view that you want. It's really odd because like I haven't been using head tracking for all that long, and already I'm kind of automatically adjusting my like my view to suit. Like where I'm pointing my eyes is changing based on where I'm going. Let's take GPS off. We'll just drive the field edge here so I don't trample the crop. I know I don't have crop destruction on because I never do. I don't like it. If I want to destroy some crop, I will use me tramline method. So I'm at is saving correctly, isn't it? Yes. I was slightly worried because some of the soil mod stuff seemed to disappear, and I was just a bit concerned that it wasn't working correctly. That was an empty fear, thankfully. So the fertilizing shouldn't take too long in the streams. We'll hopefully get on to working the herbicide. I do need to tidy the yard as well, so that might be something I do in the streams this week. Starting to Wednesday. Starting tomorrow. My apologies, I was looking at the wrong column on my whiteboard organizer my jig. I do have a whiteboard organizer my jig because I'm a bit OCD at times. I say that my room is an absolute mess and I need to tidy it, and I keep forgetting. Might be a job for later on tonight, I think. Except it's really, really ridiculously hot today. But yes, the poll should have been up earlier. And if you didn't vote, please do. It is very much appreciated if you vote, because it shows that I'm giving you guys a vested interest in what gets done next week. If your choice doesn't win the vote, don't worry. There'll be a vote every single Farm Sim video, because hey, why not? If I introduce the third map like I'm planning, that might not be as democratic, because I mean these videos currently you get a full week to vote. The other videos you'll get like a couple of days at most. So I don't quite know how I'm gonna run them yet. Especially seeing as the polling thing is rather new to me. It's just giving you guys a bit of input into the channel, I guess. And it's better than just saying, oh, vote for your favourite in the comments. No, why don't you just vote in the poll? I mean, that's what polls are for, is to get an opinion of the people. Weekly referenda. And if I don't like if it's a tie, I will I will cast a deciding vote, or toss a coin if I already voted because I was checking on my phone. This week I didn't check on my phone, which is why I decided we would do, or cast the deciding vote for fertilizer. Did I miss a bit because I'm looking at that line and it seems distinctly wonky. I did not. Interesting. Unfortunately, I can't move my head forwards or backwards in Farm Sim. It's literally left, right, up, down. Up, down, down, left, right, BA, start, select. Or no, it's just BA start, isn't it? Or is it AB start? What's the Konami code? I know it's up, down, down, left, right, BA. Yeah, BA start. Or select, I guess, depending on which specific version of the Konami code you're doing. This time I have missed a bit, so I'm just going to reverse spread here. It wouldn't be particularly good for the tractor, but no, we've run out. It's decidedly not good for the fertilizer spreader. Now that's not good for the tractor. We should have enough fuel to do the rest of the fertilizing. I will be using either this or the Ford. You can leave your preferences on what tractor I use next week in the comments, because actually if we're doing herbicide spreading I will need to use the New Holland, because that's probably best suited to the Triton 500, which by the way Dackerwin's using now. That was a bit odd to see him using a mod that I associate very closely with myself, because there aren't many people mad enough to use rear mounted sprayer with collisions on maps that have collisions and everything. Mind you, it wasn't intentional, I didn't realise it did have collisions. Oh well, let's get the rest of this spread. I'm missing a huge chunk off to the left and right there. Oh well. Spin around. Grab the bit that I missed. Where is it? I'm literally looking at the textures and looking for blank areas. Screw it, let's do it my way. Drive straight down the middle of it, and that way you're guaranteed to grab everything. There we go. I know there are going to be people who are wondering why on earth the fertilizer spreader is actually getting muddy. Because Farm Sim, that's why. Also, I know I probably shouldn't be driving across the I know I shouldn't be driving across the crops. Farm Sim, that's why. I forgot I had that little fert spreader. I might sell that, because it's just not big enough to do anything useful. I'll either sell it or use it specifically for like liming things, because it is very, very small. So small in fact that it's barely usable. I do have an idea of what spreader I'll use next, because I found a really nice one on ModHoster. I haven't downloaded it yet, I haven't tested it yet. I had a very similar one in 2013, so in theory it'll work fine. I've just kind of realised that with head tracking on now, my driving has improved slightly, because I can actually see what I need to see. You know, I can look out and see what problems are on the horizon, which is new and interesting, says somebody who thinks documentaries about maps are interesting, which they are, by the way. I know I'm overlapping quite significantly, but that's fine to a certain extent, I guess. There we go. I don't mind overlapping a bit. Well, quite a lot. Because this is a rather thin spread. Let's just reset GPS so that I can get this proper good. My god, I went in the wonkiest line in the world ever. I am terrible at life. Just to bring a Hitchhiker's Guide reference in. If the answer to the ultimate question of life, the universe, and everything is 42, is the question how many times can Dave screw up in a second? Because I swear I can screw up innumerable times per second. It may just be 42 screw-ups a second. Or 42 Daves a second, I guess. Would be... Can I use Dave as a unit of measurement? This is really not comfortable. You can't see this, my head is at a really wonky angle because I'm trying to like look backwards, but look sideways because that's how I look backwards. I'm just kind of checking now if I've got everything over here. Literally just looking for an orange-brown texture on top of the brown of the field, and luckily it does stand out reasonably well. I probably should have done this while I was putting before I put the seeds in, because it would probably stand out better against the darker brown, but it's too late now. Way too late now. I'm not cultivating again, especially seeing as I don't have a solution for the rock spawn script quite yet. If you were watching yesterday's stream, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. I have the rock spawn script in, and I'll be turning up to maximum. The issue is I don't quite have a solution to moving the rocks at the moment, which is problematic, but I like the realism of cultivating and ploughing, bringing up rocks, so it's staying. So this is as far as I can look to the right. Just if you're wondering why I'm only looking this far to the right, but I can look this far to the left. That's as far as my head tracking will let me look. Because I think it loses, yeah, it loses track after that. Alright, let's refill on seeds, not seeds, PK, potassium phosphate, and it could be potassium. Could it be potassium phosphide? No, it'd be potassium phosphate. Needs the oxygen. Let's do that. Refill the tractor first. So let's pull up at the fuel pump over here. Nice and slow. Refuel. Just wait outside while it refuels. And yeah, if you haven't seen this properly yet, it does have John Deere stickers over the Massey Ferguson that has been scratched out. I really want... It'd be amazing if it was like a John Deere logo, like on top of the Massey Ferguson logo, just kind of hastily thrown on there. But yes, it does have John Deere stickers on it. It is hot pink, and the inside is zebra print. But this is, in effect, this is essentially the same Massey you can download off FSUK. The version on Mod Central is actually a slightly different specification. In fact, it's actually got the correct horsepowers. By the way, if we are mowing the meadows, that's the mower we'll use there, the rusted old looking thing. I don't think you'd see a 698 running anything else, other than like a really small mower. We've gone too far there. I haven't got stuck, have I? I haven't. And by the way, I know this tractor's supposed to only be 2-wheel drive. I like keeping it in, I can take it out of 4-wheel drive actually. So now we're running in the specification it actually would have, which is 2-wheel drive and probably unlocked diffs. I would imagine you couldn't lock the diffs of this thing in a stock configuration. So next field up is going to be field 3. And luckily I don't need to worry about changing fertilizer types. They all need PK. Every field needs PK, including the grass fields. They need to be done as well. I can throw a random herbicide down on them, which is nice. I do need to figure out what specific herbicides I need to throw down on the rest of the fields. Let's just get this lined up with this. And this is just for my own ease, having it lined up correctly along this line here, because this is the longest straight line on the field. And really all we need to do is follow the edge of the field, because we're going to do a headland first. Just pull out slightly, turn off GPS. I know this thing wouldn't have GPS. I know a lot of things, I just decide to ignore them. For my own sanity, effectively. The nitrogen levels seem a bit high, but I don't think there's any way of getting rid of nitrogen other than letting weeds spawn, which I know for a fact they annoy Simulate. They do annoy me as well, so no intentional weed spawning shenanigans. Which I could do very easily, it's just why would I bother? I am tempted to add a cover crop system in here with maybe alfalfa. And what I could do with that is literally just grow alfalfa when I can't be bothered growing anything else. I know grass currently can provide that that functionality. The soil mod grass can do pretty much everything with alfalfa. The only thing I can do with soil mod grass that I can't do with alfalfa is turn it into hay. And if I want to do silage, I probably would just grow alfalfa or clover or something to that effect. Mow it up and windrow it up, and then just use it to make silage. I wouldn't even do whole crop. I'd literally just like row it up into. I think it goes in as a grass windrow, but it's an untenable grass windrow somehow by reasons of magic. And I guess farm sim physics. I guess. So yeah, that's a thing. Wow, we've been 20 minutes already. But yeah, this is why I had fertilization as an option. It's fertilizing is one of the easiest jobs on this entire map, because you can get a lot done in very little time. There's our cedar. I've just abandoned things everywhere. Just gonna fill up again so that we can get a nice bit into the field with the next load. I know we could probably do 1 or 2 lines with this. Just for my own sanity, we'll fill it up full. It's a lovely lilac kind of colour. Which is, in fact, a correct colour for what would be potassium phosphate. It would be a kind of a light lilac, because potassium is on its own ridiculously kind of a purpley, pinky lavender kind of colour. When it's been oxidized, of course. Otherwise it's silver. Yeah, I'm sure everybody's seen the whole throw potassium into a bit of water thing that you can do. Alkali metal into water, you get a big bang. Potassium glows. Potassium's the one with the ridiculously bright purpley pink glow. Sodium is... what colour is sodium? Yellow or green? I think sodium's green. And yeah, sodium's green because lithium is yellow. Such is my scientific knowledge. That's all off the top of my head as well. I'm not looking at anything. But yeah, this would be at least somewhat a correct colour for potassium phosphate. Which I know P is phosphorus and K is potassium, so surely it's, you know, phosphorus potassiate? No, it works the other way around. It's potassium phosphate, and it also contains oxygen, I believe. ATE. Yes, it does contain oxygen. anything that ends in ATE, 8, like potassium phosphate, calcium nitrate as well. They actually have oxygen ions as well. If it ends in ite, it is oxygenless. It does not contain oxygen. I'm hoping this isn't going to be quite enough PK on this field, I don't think, but I'm kind of hedging my bets at the moment because I want to get some straw and some hay to the pigs. In fact, hay is basically useless at the moment, but if I can get some silage as well, I can potentially mix up some TMR. Issue is I've got no way of getting silage at the moment, and my best bet's probably to sell hay bales. That's why I'm considering mowing up those 2 free meadows. They are effectively free. Also why I'm considering selling the seeds so that I can buy a forage wagon of some description and get silage going, because that's something I need to do in the very near future. I'm presuming I don't have a forage wagon and I haven't forgotten it. As you can see though, we do have 3 pigs ready for sale. We're going to hold off on getting rid of them for the time being. I think there's some sort of multiplier if you leave pigs that are ready for sale in with the rest of the pigs or something like that. They are producing slurry slowly but surely. What we'll be doing is we'll be getting more pigs in over time and actually feeding the pigs. Actually, I think I've got some barley I can give them. Oh yeah, the corn I'm going to use as feed as well for the pigs, aren't I? So the corn, I just literally just remembered that I'm planning on using corn as pig feed. Which would make sense given the harvester I'm using. I didn't realise that until I literally just realised it there. So that's unintentional but brilliant on my part. Because the harvester I'm using will be getting corn on the cob. I know it'll appear in the trailers as if it's been shucked and whatnot, but we'll just say it hasn't. I can do another run down the field. So if you watched the Littletown stream yesterday, if you were there towards the start, you would have seen some slight hilarity as I realised that I did an edit that broke the map. So here's an explanation of what happened in yesterday's stream with, you know, the whole I accidentally broke the map and caused all sorts of funky textures to appear in the fields. What happened was I forgot you have to unzip the i3D file if you want to edit it in Notepad, and I edited the i3D and it saved a version of it into Oblivion, and the game got incredibly confused by all of the mixed messages, loaded up the i3D as supposed to. There was no reason it wouldn't, you know, load up the i3D. I didn't break anything, except literally I didn't break anything except all the textures. Brilliant. But yeah, the game got very confused because I had a load of largely meaningless code in the LUA file that wasn't being referenced in the I was trying to load stuff that didn't exist in the Lua, and the i3D got very confused, the game got confused, and didn't know exactly what kind of texture it needed to put down. So I think depending on what direction I drove, it gave me a different texture, which was unique, considering I was cultivating and occasionally getting a potato texture. I mean, I know that my computer can perform like a potato at times, and I say that I'm getting literally 60 FPS at the moment. How am I getting 60? What the... Have the shaders I installed actually, like, given me... Because I do have shaders installed and running. They've somehow given me extra frames. And made the game look better. I would call shenanigans, but I usually only do that to stuff that disadvantages me. I mean, if I'm getting better frames and a better looking game, have I just won at PC gaming? Did I just beat PC gaming, like all of it? Because this shouldn't be a thing. And for those of you interested, I do, the shader pack I'm using is SweetFX, and I am using the shaders made by Randy on their website. Can't remember the exact name, but the shader pack I'm using. But yeah, it works like a charm, everything's a bit more vivid. I'm gonna double check that it's actually running right, because it doesn't seem quite right to me just yet. Yeah, I'm gonna call this an episode here, and I'll leave you by saying I've been RainbowDave. You've been watching Farming Simulator 15 on Coldborough Farm, my own personal edited version. Until wonderful. Until next time. Until next time, stay safe, and apparently I'm allergic to outros.